would be, if you talk about the poem called Love After Love, right? It is a deeply symbolic one, right? So it suggests that after experiencing love for another, right? Another person. So perhaps in a romantic relationship, one finally rediscovers the most important love, self love. Isn't it? What is that? Self. So the poem emphasizes what? That after emotional loss or heartbreak, emotional loss or heartbreak, a person can rebuild their identity or his or her identity and reconnect with themselves. Isn't it? Learning to love who they are again. Learning to love who they are again. And this second love, this is known as a second love, right? So after the first external love, so is not about another person, but about self-acceptance, right? And self-care. Therefore, if you look at the title perfectly, encapsulates the poem's message of rediscovering self-worth. You need to understand self-value and celebrating one's own life, isn't it? So therefore, the poem, which is called as a love after love, is purely indicating indicating to the symbolic one, right? So let's go to the point. Love After Love by Derek Walcott, as I said, is a deeply reflective point about self-discovery, self-acceptance, and healing after emotional loss or heartbreak. So the poem expresses the idea that after experiencing pain, after experiencing the when loss, lose, you can say that, or sorry, after experiencing the loss, right, particularly from lost love or a broken relationship, one can find happiness in reconnecting with oneself. So the poem begins with the line in the first stanza, which is indicating reuniting with yourself. So the time will come when, with elation, you will greet yourself arriving at your own door, in your own mirror, and each will smile at the other's welcome. So, in the opening lines, Walcott describes what a future moment, the time will come when, with elation. So, the poet wants to point out here that in a future moment, means you will experience joy. That joy is known as elation or happiness in reuniting with themselves. Isn't it? So you will greet yourself arriving. That is what Pandasa is reuniting with themselves. The imagery of greeting oneself at your own door and in your own mirror. When you say that your own door and in your own mirror is indicating that the image of greetings to yourself, greetings to oneself, that suggests nothing but a what? Self-acceptance, right? So the idea of smiling at one's reflection indicates what? A sense of completeness or wholeness and peace or harmony that comes with what? That comes with the self-love, isn't it? So in the stanza 2, the poet also stated that what? And say, sit here, eat, you will love again the stranger who was yourself. Give wine, give bread, give back your heart to itself, to the stranger who has loved you. Now, this one is indicating about nurturing the forgotten self. So, what happened? The stanza here introduces the comparison, direct comparison metaphor of a meal. Welcoming meal symbolizing nourishment, or you can say that nurture for the soul. The speaker invites themselves to sit and eat which can be interpreted as an act of self-care, act of self-compassion, right? The phrase where it is stated that the stranger who was yourself, the stranger who was yourself, suggests that in the process of loving others, the speaker had neglected his or her own identity, isn't it? So, and that's why the poet stated that you are urged to reconnect. You are urged. Urged means requested. You are requested to reconnect with your own essence and appreciate your worth or your value. Right? The act of giving back your heart to itself is symbolizing what? Now, reclaiming one's love, one's identity from past relationship, where you might have prioritized another person over yourself, isn't it? So, therefore, the second stanza stated, sit here, eat, you will love again the stranger that present within you, that you forget, and who was yourself. Keep wine, keep prayed, give back your heart to itself, to the stranger who was loved you. Isn't it? The poet also point out all your life whom you ignored, all your life whom you ignored for another who knows you by heart. Take down the love letters from the bookshelf. So the poet here remembers the self that always loved you. So the thing or the soul present within you is loving you every time, right? But you are the only one who forget to care of it, right? So therefore, the poet stated that all your life whom you ignored, it means Walcott highlights how people often lose themselves in relations, how people lose themselves in relationship, ignoring their own needs for the sake of others or for the sake of another. For another person or for the other person, you ignore your own needs, what you desire. So when the poet stated that whom you ignored for another, so suggests that what the speaker had placed his love or her love and energy into someone else at the expense of his or her self-love. So now you are encouraged. Now you are encouraged, or now you are urged or requested to reconnect with your past, as symbolized by taking down the love, taking down the love letters from the bookshelf. So it perhaps revisiting memories and emotions that were once pushed aside. Next, so here you would find out that the poet is stating that remembering the self that always loved you, isn't it? Now, in the stanza 4, the poet stated that the photographs, the desperate notes, fill your own image from the mirror. The photographs, the despair notes, feel your own image from the mirror. Sit fixed on your life. So here the action or the motion of the photographs, right? And desperate notes refers to what the past memories and emotions, possibly when it is tied to lunging or heartbreak. It is what you can say that it is tied to lunging. Lunging means desirable or means heartbreaking. By peeling your own image from the mirror, by peeling your own image from the mirror, it means the speaker is encouraged to strip away an old, distorted self perceptions and rediscover your true self. Right. So, in the final lines, you can say the final lines of the stanza 4, it is stated that sit, fist on your life, fist on your life. So it is a powerful message to fully embrace one's own existence, celebrating life independently rather than through the lens of a past relations. It suggests, the last line suggests a joyful, abundant self love. You love yourself huge, where the speaker finds what? Fulfillment. Fulfillment with himself or herself. Isn't it? So, what you find out in this particular poem, Love After Love, It is a beautiful and uplifting, encouraging point. So that teaches a vital or an important lesson. What is that? Self-love is essential. If you do not love yourself, then you cannot also love others. So, and after loss of what heartbreak, one can find happiness in his or her own identity again. So, what Walcott's message is that love for oneself is the deepest and most enduring love of all. Deepest and most enduring love of all. And by embracing it or by holding it, one can truly feast on life. One can truly feast on life. So, in that case, if I talk about each and every line, so the first line suggests that a future moment that will arrive when the speaker or the reader will experience great joy. So, this implies although one might currently be going through pain or loss, healing and happiness are surely come. Healing and happiness are surely come. In the second line, the poet says that the poet creates a powerful image, the powerful image of what? Meeting once again, meeting oneself again. Your own door symbolizes nothing but a return to own personal space or identity, and your own mirror represents self recognition, identification. This means that after a period of emotional loss, a person will reconnect with himself or herself and seeing that it is worth and identify once again, isn't it? So, in the next line, also, you would find out the poet says, and each will smile at the other's welcome. So, this line also depends the self acceptance idea. The speaker and their reflection or the inner self smile at each other, showing nothing but a peaceful reunion. Reunion means get together again. It signifies a moment of self love and recognition, as if two long lost friends are finally meeting again. Finally meeting again. So that is what you will find out in the first stanza. Each line describes that or narrates that. In the second stanza, uh, first line, we also find out and says it here it. So the speaker invites those of the people who fall in a love and their love did not get success. Right. So the speaker invites those of the people to sit and eat. Sit and eat, which symbolizes nothing but a self-care and emotional nourishment. Emotional means a development. Food is often a metaphor. Metaphor means direct comparison for sustenance, right? So not just for the body, for the soul. This first line of the second stanza means encourages what? Self-compassion and kindness. Self-compassion means what? That called the kindness that you must have, right? So one must carry the kindness towards oneself, isn't it? So you will love again the stranger who was yourself. Walcott describes the self as a stranger. Self as a stranger. So that implies in the past the speaker may have lost touch with their own identity. So, however, there is a hope. There is a hope. So they will learn to love themselves again. And this suggests a journey of rediscovery, journey of rediscovery, where self-acceptance gradually returns. So the poet says in the next line, give wine, give bread, give back your heart. Give wine, give bread, give your means you can say that give back your heart. So here wine and bread symbolizes a spiritual or emotional hunger. Spiritual or emotional hunger. So similar to religious or celebratory meals. So the phrase when you find out give yourself or give back your heart. So that means what the poet reclaiming one's love and one's emotion that were previously thrown away or previously given away. So like you can say, likely in a relationship, it is an act of means getting back one's self worth or self love, isn't it? So even in the next line, the poet says to itself, to the stranger who has loved you. So this fine line reinforces or takes the takes one's true self has always been there, waiting patiently to be accepted and loved again. So, in the next stanza, first line, it is stated that realizing what was ignored. So, the poet states that all your life, whom you ignored, all your life, whom you ignored, or for another who knows you by heart, who knows you by heart. It means you know yourself very much or very well in compared to the others, isn't it? So, in that case, in the third stanza, first line suggests that what means how people often neglect their own needs and identify while prioritizing someone else in a relationship. So when the poet says that when you note or another, it suggests that the speaker had placed more value on a romantic partner or external validation so than on themselves. However, that the true self has always known them by heart. So meaning their inner being has always been what present and understanding. So you understand yourself better than you understand others. Right. So take down the love letters from the bookshelf. So the speaker is also encouraged to revisit the past emotions and memories. So symbolized by love letters. So this could be letters means actual letters, or even personal experiences that were once enjoyed but latter forgotten. Latter forgotten. So in the next stanza, the poet states that the poet talks about embracing life again. Embracing life again, it's called as a holding the life again. So the poet says that the photographs, the desperate notes. So the photographs and the desperate notes, these objects represent what? Memories, both happy and powerful memories. So the poet states that photograph symbolizes past moments. Photograph symbolizes what? Past moments. So while desperate notes may refer to writing expression or writing pain, longing, desire, or you can say unfulfilled love, isn't it? So feel your own image in the mirror. So feel your own image from the mirror means this is a striking metaphor, right? Fitting metaphor or direct comparison. It suggests that shedding an old version of oneself may be like what? Peeling a layer away. The speaker is encouraged to strip away or move away past identities shaped by relationship and external influences, returning to their true self, isn't it? The last line where it is stated, sit fist on your life. Now the poem ends with a what? Powerful call. What is that powerful call? So that powerful call turns into action to fully embrace and celebrate one's own life. So when you talk about feast, feast suggests abundance. Abundance means excessive. So joy and fulfillment. So it means that one should immerse themselves in their own experience and find happiness with themselves, isn't it? So all total, you can say Derek Walcott's Love After Love poem about self-discovery, healing, and the rediscovery of what one's identity, and also with emotional bias, right? Or after emotional bias. So, though powerful imagery and metaphors, Walton conveys that true love begins with oneself. The poem makes sure or reassures the reader that after heartbreaking of self neglect, so they will reunite with their true self, learn to love themselves again, and ultimately faced on life with joy and fulfillment, isn't it? Now, in that case, if I talk about the critically analysis, what I can find out, Derek Walcott's poem Love After Love is a powerful and also uplifting piece and self-discovery and emotional healing. It addresses the universal experience of losing oneself in a relationship and the journey of reclaiming one's true identity. So the poem is written in 3 verse. What is the rhyming scheme of the poem? It is written in the free verse, right? Which gives it a natural falling tone, almost like a conversation, a reassurance from a what? Wise spring. If you talk about white and rose, we can find out the tone of the poem is reassurance or called as a making promises and optimistic positive mindset and also reflective, remembering the past. So it begins with a sense of surety that by saying that what the time will come, giving the reader hope and healing are, you can say that hope that healing and self-love are necessary or surely required. The mood is calm, the mood is celebratory, especially towards the end, where the poet encourage the reader to, feast on your life, right? So if I talk about certain symbolism and imagery in the poem, I can find out the symbolism and imagery present in the poem is called as your own door, your own mirror. So this represents self-understanding and returning to one's true self. What you are, you accept that. So even another symbolism and imagery is there called as a give wine, give bread. It symbolizes nourishment uh, and a spiritual or emotional faith, suggesting self-care, restoration. So, four, you can say, peel your own image from the mirror. So, it is a metaphor for shedding a false self, banking, banking free from past emotional intangible. So, feast on your life. This is the last theme, you can say, a final trumpet call to hold the mentor. What you can say that hold, embrace the life fully, right? So the poet conveys a message of self-love, self-discovery. It reminds readers that even after losing themselves in love or another, so you can find out they can return to their own identity and hold to their hold who they are and find upliftment within themselves. Isn't it? So here you would find out the poetic devices are called as a free words, personification, imagery, metaphor, or symbolism. All such kind of things are there. So if I summing up all, then I come with a summary that called as a Love After Love, which is written by Derek Walcott. It is a poem about what rediscovering and embracing oneself, an experience or an experiencing emotional loss or heartbreak. The poet reassures the reader that had reassured the reader that what means a time will come when they will connect their true self and find joy in their own company. Using metaphors of welcoming and mill and mirror, Walcott emphasizes the importance of self-love and self-acceptance. The poem naturally encourages the readers to go to past attachment, celebrate their own identity, and also feast on the beauty of their own life. Right? These are